All right, good evening, everyone, and welcome to James Monroe School, something I've been wanting to say now for about 3 years, and we're very excited that everyone had the opportunity this evening to join us for the ribbon cutting and sort of the ceremonial beginning of a new era for James Monroe School. To start off, I just would like to, in the program, acknowledge a few special people who took some time out of their busy schedules to join us this evening. And if you would just give them a round of applause as I mention each one of them. Senator Dogden is joining us this evening. Assemblywoman Pinkin is joining us. Assemblywoman Karabinchik. Freehold Deputy Director Charlie Tamaro. And Freehold Director Ron Reyes. I know how busy your schedules are and things going on in Trenton and in the county, and I really appreciate you joining us this evening. Also joining us is many members of the mayor and council, and Mayor Lanke, if you would please stand. And rather me introduce every one of the members of the council, if you would all please stand and be acknowledged. I'll mention them in a few words a little later. On March 22nd, 2014, as you all know, we had a tragic event here at the James Monroe School. But 3 years later, we were able to turn what was, at that time, a very tragic event into something I think very special. And along the way, that night changed many lives, mine included, as well as the many people that worked in the school and maybe attended the school at some point in time after it was celebrating its 50 years. But during that time, each part of the stages, and today I spent a little time just putting in the Google search James Monroe School, and whether it be news articles or images, it brought up the long road that we really traveled to get here. And some of it was just in those first 48 hours, that planning to get from not having a school into the Middlesex County College. From there, it was the demolition of the school. I remember how important it was when 9/11 occurred, of how important it was to get the demolition done and get back so people knew we were going to get started. The infamous insurance issue that we had to contend with and deal with that ultimately ended up in our favor. We had to go for a referendum because of the way the system works, that we had to have money in place in order to bond for or to build the school at the time before the insurance money came through. Our move to then from Middlesex County College to St. Cecilia School and the negotiations and agreements around that. Then the actual construction of the school that you're in this evening, and then ultimately to today. And so that was the path that we had lived as a Board of Education, administration, and those in the township. But all along the way, each one of those events seemed to work out. And sort of to the public and to everyone else, it was a seamless transition because there were many things that were going on to make that work. But as we were going through those things, there were some pretty special people, and that is the James Monroe staff that worked hard every single day while we were doing those things to make the lives of our students and our parents seem like it was a seamless transition that eventually we would wind up back here. And so this evening, I want to start off, and if you would join me in a round of applause for the James Monroe staff who really, really worked hard. None of them ever will want to move or pack a box again. I can guarantee you that. So let me just go through a couple of people that really worked hard on this, and then a couple people that I want to present some things to. So first of all, I want to thank the Board of Education. Many of the members are with us from that time. I want to thank you for your patience, your leadership, and everything that you did to sort of help us in the administration make this work. So on behalf of everyone in our community and yourself, I just want to acknowledge all the hard work. These are volunteers who, whether it was that Sunday morning afterwards or spending nights or the construction company or being here, they spent tireless hours that many of you don't see working with us and trying to ensure that that path that I just described really worked out well. So thank you very much. You always have to thank the guy with the money, and that's Dan Michaud. He really... Dan and Michael worked tirelessly in a lot of things regarding the insurance issues to the building of the school, and he's really been my and everyone's right-hand man along the way. So Dan, thank you for all you have done and continue to do in our district in your 33rd year in our district? 31, sorry. Well, I expect 33, but we'll go with 31. A couple of people that are not here, Todd Flora and John Nemeth were the county executive superintendent and county business administrator. They were instrumental in helping along the way in that morning and trying to get some things done. And so I also want to make sure that they get acknowledged. Mayor and council, there's a lot that goes on. The best thing I can say is that you've hired some great people, and people like Melissa Perlstein, John Soltis, and Patty Leary. I didn't see them, but they've been fantastic. And I know how important it is to have good people that work for you. And so despite all of your efforts and all your help on this, those particular people were very instrumental in trying to get our school building built. So on behalf of all of us, I really appreciate our relationship and everything that your employees and everyone did to try to make this work. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Also joining us tonight is someone who did retire, who was here. Anne-Marie Griffin-Usack, is she here? She's hiding in the back. I knew she would. I'm so glad that she is here. She was sort of instrumental, sort of the first person I reached out into the morning, and she did a lot of the work for us in that first couple days and getting everyone settled. She is now smiling in the back because she is retired, enjoying her life. But I want to thank you on behalf of everyone for everything you did, especially everything you did for me to make it work. And I really thank you for coming this evening. So thank you very much. I think I saw Jeff Bowden. Is he here? I think he's hiding in the back as well. Jeff Bowden and the ETA. When we had the opportunity that we had to go to a referendum and working with our staff, I would say the teachers union and Jeff provided us a lot of leadership in getting that, not only that referendum passed, but really working us along the way. It's good to have some partners that work with our school system. So Jeff, on behalf of all of us, we want to thank you and the members of the ETA for helping us get through all this, and we appreciate very much all your generosity. Just a couple other employees, Ken Stromslin, who is, and the other Ken 1 and Ken 2, if you would please stand. Both Kens are head of our facilities, and Ken had probably lived here most of the time during the break, especially when we were carrying and moving from St. Cecilia's over. He was sort of our construction manager when our construction management contract ended out, and I know you spent a lot of time here and a lot of hard work and a lot of difficult conversations with me late at night. So I appreciate your patience and understanding. Again, thank you for all that you do. Ralph Barca, Tara Beams, Chris Conklin, all members, if they are here. I think I saw them sitting in the back. If you would please stand as well. Members of the administrative team. Again, instrumental in getting things done. Sally, the facilities manager. Is she Sally here? She's not here, but she was instrumental in getting everything, especially moving each time we got to the different areas. And I can't, without going back to the original fire, I can't miss a moment to thank the firefighters and the police department. And they were instrumental on that night, and they were absolutely the bravest people and some of the people that we thank the most for containing the fire and doing what they could. So if you would give a round of applause for our local firefighters and police department. And then finally, I don't know if Brian McGrath is here. He's the principal at Herbert Hoover School. We just want to thank the staff and the administration over at Herbert Hoover. They took care of us for the after-school and before-school programs, allowed it to continue over there, and that was instrumental in making it work as well. A couple other people that are not here, Mayor McCormick, Mayor of Woodbridge, very instrumental in helping us get not only into St. Cecilia's, but working with the Diocese of Metuchen to work that contract. The county prosecutor, Andrew Carey, who was very helpful in the beginning and was willing to take any call that we had and help us along the way. And then we have a new bishop, but the prior bishop was there before, so we want to thank the Diocese of Metuchen for their help and assistance in giving us a school that really worked out well for us. And Mayor McCormick actually gets a nice building in Woodbridge now that we've left there in Metuchen, and I'm sure he would thank us. And then finally, for those parents that are here, the James Monroe parents that are throughout the gym this evening, I can't thank you enough for your patience and understanding. I still remember the image of me standing in front of you that Monday night at Edison High School. I had a meeting with several of the reporters beforehand to kind of give them my remarks, and so it was filled, and then all the cameras that were in the background, and one of the reporters said to me, "Don't worry, just tell them that their kids are going to go to college for free, and that's where we're going to start." And that's how I led that night, and from that point on, I want to thank all the parents for their patience and understanding throughout this entire ordeal. You've been fabulous, as well as most of the neighbors that live in this area, so give them a round of applause for me. All right, I'm going to wrap this up in a couple. I have 5 more, but I want to give some awards to pretty special people. Ken Carl, if you would please come on up. Ken Carl is from Land Architects. Ken Carl designed this beautiful building, and what I'd like to do is present you a little token of our appreciation for everything you did from the time you designed a fabulous building and all the process that you went through. You are fabulous people. You're great to work with, and I can't appreciate it enough.
Thank you so
much. Thank you so much.
It's such a surprise.
Thank you. Sure. It's a little taller than I am. That's all right. I know I was going to use that step stool, but that's okay. Daniel, where's Daniel? From Dobco. He's in the back. Give Daniel a round of applause. Milanovic, he's got a very short name, but we go by Daniel. Daniel is the president of Dobco, and Dobco is the construction company that built this beautiful building. If you've ever been in construction projects and been involved in them, you know the construction company is always somebody to worry about. From the time we met Daniel to today, I can tell you they've been fabulous in the construction of the James Monroe School. He knew from the beginning how important this was to the community and the students, and he never looked back from that statement he made to me in the first day. So on the last day, I want to say thank you very much, and you stuck to your word. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Take this picture. Tony Toludo. Where's Tony? Where is he? There he is. So Tony is from Epic. He was our construction manager. He lived here for about 2 years in a small trailer out front. But Tony really kept this project going. He was our eyes in the sky, sort of, and a very good friend. And I appreciate all your hard work and all those tough calls that both Ken and I had with you. So thank you so much. You were more than, like most of this project, just someone that worked for Epic and worked for our district. You were someone that really cared about the school and the children, and I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Chartwells, if Patty Allegretto, Sean Walsh, come on over. So these are our food service vendors, Chartwells. Let's give them a round of applause. So many of you don't know, when we went from having no school to a school at the Middlesex County College, Chartwells was instrumental. When I told them that I needed a full cafeteria and I needed it in a little less than 48 hours built and done, they told me I'm crazy. I said, I know, my wife tells me that all the time, but I want it built. And they had it built in 48 hours. And on top of that, they made sure all the lunches were served every day during this 3-year ordeal, whether it's at St. Cecilia's, Middlesex County College, or right here again. And again, we appreciate your partnership and everything you do. And all along the way, we really appreciate everything.
Thanks, Rich.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
And two more. Dr. Joanne LaPerla Morales, President of Middlesex County College, if you could please. Look at. So there is, many of you don't know, but I'm a big person of faith, and along this way, there's been a lot of signs. And I remember on that morning, going to church was still a priority for my family and I, and then on my way to church, the phone rang, didn't recognize the number, but it was this wonderful woman that God put in our lives because she really said, hey, I have a building. And if you're interested, and Anne Marie and Linda, I think, went over there that morning, and you were amazing. Not only were you amazing, but your staff was amazing. You welcomed us in. You made us feel like we were there all along, and our kids went to college for free. And we can't thank you enough for all you did and continue to do to support not only this school, but the Edison Township schools and all of our students. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. One quick picture. All right. And then finally, someone that was with us during this entire journey is Jonathan Bush. So Jonathan Bush, come on up. Everybody says in your world we need a good attorney. I think we have something here in Edison that's better. We have a friend, someone who's always looking out for the best interests of our school district, someone that was there all along the way, whether we were sitting alone in the courtroom or not, trying to sue the insurance company, which worked, by the way. And I think he needs to be recognized, and I want you to give a nice round of applause. Jonathan Bush from the Bush Law Group. Thanks, bud. I appreciate it. Quick picture like the one where you want.
Unnecessary.
Thank you. I think I went over my time. Matter of fact, I know I went over my time. At this time, I'd like to call Dr. Heelan up to give some remarks on behalf of the Board of Education.
Stole my speech. Who else can I thank? Thanks to all that he had mentioned, and also thanks to our intrepid leader and superintendent, Dr. Richard O'Malley, who has taken us through this, in a sense, ordeal too, along with certainly Dan Michaud in working out the money. I'd also like to thank the taxpayers and the voters. It was absolutely critical when you passed the bond referendum for $18.6 million. If we didn't get that, we wouldn't have gotten the insurance money. The insurance would only offer us $9.5 million for everything. And after we passed the bond and then the power reverted to us, we were able to settle for $23.6 million. That more than paid not only for this school, but also much of the extra expenses besides. So I also want to make clear that $18.6 million is gone. We're not using it. It will never be used, not a dollar of it. Board Member Jerry Shee said, make sure you make it clear, because sometimes in the papers it acted as though we have the insurance money plus, and that isn't true. But we were very fortunate, and we certainly thank the architects and certainly the DOBCO and those who are involved in it for getting us this facility for $20 million. Franklin, New Brunswick, they're over $50 million. Neptune, over $70 million. How did we do it? For $20 million, I think it's a terrific achievement that we were able to build such a beautiful facility for $20 million. One other person, and I don't even know if she's here, but who has been so kind to us, I know it's not very popular now to appreciate the journalists, but is Suzanne Russell here? No, okay. Well, she's the writer from the Home News, and she's covered just about everything. I guess you'll see it on TV. And she's actually a neighborhood person. Her parents are cardiologists over on Wilk Road, and I'm sure she's gone through James Monroe School too. So I think she did a terrific job for us in keeping a history of what happened with the burning of the school. And speaking of that, I'd just like to say it's been a wonderful journey, certainly from the time that we were standing a few feet away and Linda Zapatizny was hugging me and crying and with me and looking at the school burning down that my 4 children had gone through here, eating at their desks for lunch. And so it's really a wonderful thing, and certainly I know Linda has stayed with them and insisted that the children all stay together, and I know some of the others did too, some of the freeholders and the council people, and so try to get an arrangement so that everyone would be able to stay together. But I just have one other question, and that is, who is James Monroe? We have Monroe. I lived in Monroe, New York. There's a Monroe in Middlesex County. Every place you look, there's a Monroe, and here's James Monroe Elementary School. He was a soldier in the Revolutionary War, and he fought at the Battle of Harlem Heights and White Plains and Trenton. He was almost mortally wounded at Trenton and intervened by George Washington to get a medical attention. So he was able to get patched up and fight in the Battle of Princeton, went on to Monmouth and also to Yorktown. In addition to that, he became the senator from Virginia and a governor of Virginia. He was the minister to France, and he negotiated a pretty good deal with Napoleon, of all people. And so for $15 million, he got the Louisiana Purchase. Came in under Jefferson's time, but it was actually the one who negotiated was James Monroe. So he doubled the size of the country, going all the way from the Gulf of Mexico to the Canadian border and out to the Rocky Mountains. So that was really one of his achievements. He was the 5th president of the United States, the last of the Virginian dynasty, if you will, and also the last of the founding fathers. He ushered in a period of era of good feeling, as it's called, binding together the New England states and the South after the War of 1812. So he was really, he also was, of course, was able to get us Florida. So when you go down to Florida, we bought it from Spain. A little bit of pressure there, of course. I'm not going to get into that. But we got Florida under his, in 1819, the Florida cession. Also, the Monroe Doctrine, which is the basic cornerstone of American diplomacy that still exists today, and we still employ it today, was because of James Monroe. So we have a terrific heritage coming from James Monroe, and I want to wish all of you to do to keep in mind the founding father, James Monroe, that we have, and I wish all of certainly the learning activities of the students to be inspired by this person. Actually, Thomas Jefferson said of him, he was so honest that if you turned his soul inside out, you couldn't find a spot on it. So he was a very honest person as well. And I'd just like to also, just say, God bless all of the students and the parents and the teachers, certainly for all that they've gone through as well, and the community of James Monroe Elementary School. Thank you very much.
In my infinite wisdom to write everyone's name down, I've always felt I would forget someone. But if you would please welcome our current Executive County Superintendent, Dr. Hernandez Mano, if you would please stand and acknowledge. At this time, I'd like to call the principal of James Monroe School, Linda Zapatizny, to the podium.
There's no place like home. If only it were as easy as clicking our heels 3 times. But the yellow brick road we traveled had its own twists and turns, needing constant attention. However, many of you here tonight ensured that no matter the obstacles in our way, we would finally arrive back to where our story began. While getting this building ready, one conversation between Dr. O'Malley and myself concerned exactly what we were doing on the night of March 22nd, 2014, and the frenzy of the days that followed leading up to our first day of college at MCC just 4 days later. Thank you so very, very much, Dr. Morales-LaPerla. I just said your name backwards, thank you. I'm sure everyone in this room can recount their own clearly defined memories from that first week. Here to share the student perspective is Alvikap Srivastava, who was in 2nd grade at the time of the fire. Alvikap. You don't have to say your name, you could just go right into the speech.
Hello, everybody. My name is Avikop Srivastava, and I am in Miss Romeo's 5th grade class. When I was in 2nd grade, I wrote a reflection while I was at Middlesex County College about what was going in my head at the time right after the fire. I was feeling nervous and was wondering what would happen next in my 2nd grade world. About 2 weeks ago, my 2nd grade teacher found my story, and I realized that I did not remember writing it because so much time had passed. It has been an interesting journey back to 7 Sharp Road. When we came to Middlesex, I was nervous. I knew it would be okay because I was with all my friends, all 80 of them in one room. By the time the year was over, I was confident that this journey back home would no longer be a sad one. In September, we came to St. Cecilia's, a church and school on Oak Tree Road. I was now in 3rd grade in Miss McCann's class. Lots of people were helping our school. Even my cousins were giving donations. And in a few short moments, 4th grade started. Construction of our school was going on, and my teacher was Miss Bell. And again, nothing changed our education. I was grateful for everything during that time. As the days passed, I got attached to the building. Even though we were not at 7 Sharp, we had an educational learning experience. 5th grade started in September 2016. It would be my last 4 months in the school on Oak Tree Road. Before I knew it, it was December and students were helping their teachers pack boxes. Our Promethean board was moved in the 2nd week of December to the new school, a sure sign that we were getting ready to leave. I went to the open house later that week. The school was like a whole new world. The first time I was just walking around the spacious and colorful building. Everyone I saw was smiling. I was thinking about how much had changed in these 2.5 years. My first day at 7 Sharp started off in the gym. We recited the Pledge of Allegiance in our school song, We Are James Monroe. This is when I knew our school was a family. I often wonder what it might be like had this not happened, but I know for sure that we can do anything if we work together. I'm so glad that we have our beautiful home back at 7 Sharp Road.
In reflecting on tonight's ceremony celebrating our return to 7 Sharp Road and bringing closure to almost 3 years of a journey, I realized that what best defines who we are at this school is highlighting our school play. It is, and in highlighting it this evening, we're also aligning it very nicely to one of the district's goals this year, the visual and performing arts. I began my tenure as principal in 2003, and at the time, the PTA sponsored a musical production for all children who wished to participate. A company would come in for 1 week at a cost of $2,000+. While observing the practices, I saw many tears being shed by children of various ages as the pressure to perform became too much. I was not pleased for several reasons. I didn't see our kids having fun. I wasn't sure there was any attainment of understanding of the process, and the cost factor put a dent into the PTA's hard-earned funds. There had to be a way to make this more meaningful. In 2005, my close friend Cindy Tafaro became the reading specialist at Monroe. Who better for this challenge than someone with 10 years of experience directing musicals at Edison High School, who also happened to have graduated with a degree in dance from Rutgers University. I might also add she was a runner-up in the Miss New Jersey pageant. She's going to kill me for that. I asked her if she would be interested in taking on this project, and of course, in typical Cindy style, she said yes. The next step was approaching the staff about it, and I do remember saying something to the effect that if anyone's going to make our kids cry, it should be us. Seriously, though, more than 30 teachers volunteered to help, and our own theater group was formed. My goals were simple: to provide students with a real-life learning experience, let anyone who wanted to participate, involve staff in the process, and save the PTA some money. On April 7th, 2006, at Edison High School, James Monroe Elementary School presented its version of Dumbo, written, directed, and choreographed by Mrs. Tufaro, with musical direction by Mr. John Pecorelli. 80 students performed that evening to a very appreciative audience. And yes, by the end of the evening, there were tears, but this time from the very exhausted staff who had voluntarily given up lunchtimes and stayed after school for practices to bring it all together. Thank goodness that spring break started the next day. When we met the following week, the staff realized that by the end of production, students had an understanding of the theatrical process and the community that it builds. There now existed a shared experience among a significant number of students and staff that forever changed their relationships and enhanced the school culture. We resolved to continue producing our own musicals. The following year, Grease was the word. We had 110 cast members and oversold the 500+ seats in the high school auditorium. Over the years, we've produced Footloose, Frog and Toad, 101 Dalmatians, Alice in Wonderland, Toy Story, The Jungle Book, Aladdin, The Little Mermaid, and Beauty and the Beast. Each production brought an increase in actors, averaging about 250 participants, which represents more than half of our school population. This yearly musical was now part of James Monroe's fabric, and one which created a systemic change, where every child was presented the same opportunity and played an integral role in the outcome. The play bound us to one another. I'd like to share part of an essay that we received from Danielle Buzzy, who was an Edison High School graduate class of 2016. I moved to Edison in second grade. Although I was not that old, it was still incredibly scary to be in my third new school, knowing absolutely no one and being generally quiet. That would change so quickly. My first year, I was given my first role in a musical as Timothy the Mouse in Dumbo. Without this small part of my elementary career, I would not have grown up to be who I am today. She goes on to specifically thank Mrs. Tufaro and Mr. Pecorelli for helping her hone her craft. And then she says, James Monroe truly changed my views on what I wanted to do with my life and who I wanted to grow up to be. When I become an elementary school teacher, I plan to inspire young thespians and singers the same way I was by being involved in the music program, so that they may have the same positive experience I had. Thank you for helping me make my dream career a reality and giving me the reminder that hard work truly does pay off. I can never thank the James Monroe community enough for the lifelong lessons and memories it has gifted me. Fast forward to school year 2013-14. Up until then, the plays had always been scheduled in dates ranging from late March to early April, depending upon when our spring break was. That year, I had requested that the play take place in November, much to the consternation of my staff. But when recently someone asked me why I did that, I really couldn't remember. It wasn't until I saw a clip from the open house video that I realized the motivation for the move was the need to recognize our school's 50th anniversary, dedicated in 1963. I'd like to take a moment to thank our videographer, Brandon Ulich, for following us from the onset of this journey and especially helping me recall the anniversary celebration. Later on tonight, we will be honoring one of our teachers here, Michael Fernandez, as an Edison Hidden Hero. a well-deserved recognition of the work that he has done in and out of the school. This award is the brainchild of Mr. Ulick, and as such, I would like to acknowledge him as the ultimate hidden hero, the man behind the curtain. Always ensuring that all of our stories in this district see the light of day and providing us with memories of a lifetime. Thank you so much. Back to 2013-14. It was the first time I had any input into the selection of the play, and I asked the directors, Mrs. Lisa Romeo, Miss Stephanie Buzier, to consider doing Aladdin, since its theme of a whole new world and a magic carpet ride fit perfectly with a travel back in time to 1963. Thanks to all involved, the celebration of James Monroe's inaugural year was the perfect lead into the play. Little did we realize at the time, if not for the date change, our production of Aladdin would never have seen the light of day. More importantly, a whole new world would take on a most profound role in our lives, becoming our school mantra as we began our own travels. In fact, the center of the floor on which you are now seated bears our owl logo with those very words surrounding it. At this point in our lives, the play took on a deeper level of importance, as it was the tradition that carried us forward to St. Cecilia's with both The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast. It was now so embedded in our history that it provided some sense of normalcy during a time that was anything but. Last year, I made the decision to present The Wizard of Oz, since we would be returning home in September. Although we started the year at St. Cecilia's, for the first time since the fire, we were no longer taking each day as it came, but now anticipating our move. The buzz around every corner was, "There's no place like home." As it turned out, we did not return to 7 Sharp until January, so it is fitting that we are now preparing for The Wizard of Oz here. Its theme is ingrained in every inch of James Monroe, from the slogan on the mat that greets everyone at the front door, to the t-shirts that are in evidence daily around the school, emblazoned with ruby slippers and yellow brick roads. The leads have been rehearsing after school since our return, and this week begins our recess practices for all cast members. Tonight, although we're still in production, we'd like to give you a sneak peek. Please welcome actors Dalila Alabora, Merchona Dasgupta, Matthew Diolio, and Matthew Mechanic performing Scene 6 from The Wizard of Oz.
What's that? Why, it's a man. A madman of tin, yes. Oil can. Oil can. Did you say something? Oil can. Oil can what? Oil can? Here it is. Where do you want to be oiled first? Monroe. Monroe. He said his mouth. Here you go. The other side. The other side. How's that? I can talk again. My God, it's good to be free. My goodness, how did you ever get like this? Well, about a year ago, I was chopping that tree, minding my own business, when it started to rain right in the middle of a chop. I busted solid, and I've been that way ever since. Well, you're perfect now. Perfect? Bang on my chest if you think I'm perfect. Go ahead, bang on it. Beautiful. One echo. It's empty. The tinsmith forgot to give me a heart. No heart? No heart. All hollow. When a man's an empty kettle, He should be on his medal, but yet I'm torn apart. Just because I'm presuming I can be a kind of human if I only had a heart. I'd be tender, I'd be gentle, and I will send a medal regarding love and art. I'd be friends with the sparrows and the boys, just the arrows if I only had a heart. Picture me a balcony above a voice sings low. Wherefore art thou, Romeo? I hear a beat. How sweet, just to register emotion, jealousy, devotion. I'd really feel the part. I would stay young and chipper and I'll lock it with the zipper if I only had a heart. That was wonderful. Why don't you come to Emerald City with us to ask the Wizard of Oz for our heart? Why? That's a long and dangerous journey, and it might rain along the way. But you've been saying how much you want a heart. And I'll keep the oil can handy. Well, suppose the wizard wouldn't get me when we got there. Oh, but he will. He must. We've come such a long way already. What's that?
Helping the young lady along, are you, my fine gentleman? Well, stay away from her, or I'll make a beehive out of you, Tin Man, and I'll stuff a mattress with you, Scarecrow. And as for you, my fine lady, I wish you luck with the Wizard of Oz, and a happy journey back to Kansas.
Stuff a mattress with me? Huh. I'll see you get safely back to the wizard whether I get a brain or not. Beehive, bah! I'll see you reach the wizard whether I get a heart or not. Let her try to make a beehive out of me. But you're the best friends anyone has ever had. To Oz? To Oz! We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz. We hear he is a wizard, if ever a whiz there was. If ever a whiz there was, the Wizard of Oz is one because of the wonderful things he does. We're off to see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Oz.
This year, 157 children tried out for the 34 lead spots. Watching the joy they experienced for each other when the roles were parceled out validates for me how participating in this venture provides them with a meaningful, real-world experience. You can see how shy they all are. Students collaborate with their peers and teachers as they learn dialogue and mark up scripts. They highlight their creative modalities through constructing and painting set designs and making costumes. Communication is enhanced through learning nuances in voice, expression, and articulation. Finally, critical thinking skills carry through the entire process from the moment students sign their contract of responsibilities through to the final curtain call. 21st century learning at its best. At our opening day meeting in September, I shared the following quote from Glinda in The Wizard of Oz. Home is knowing your mind, knowing your heart, knowing your courage. If we know ourselves, we're always home, anywhere. Although I believe the James Monroe community admirably held true to these words throughout this journey, walking through these doors on January 3rd proved to all of us that there is no place like home. Before we officially cut the ribbon, I'd like to present the James Monroe Chorus, led by actors Stefan, Matthew, and Dalila, under the direction of Mr. Pecorelli, highlighting the music that has sustained and supported us through the last 3 years and guided us home.
There's a whole new world out there, just waiting for us. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, princess, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes, take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride. A whole new world, a new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming. A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear, and now I'm in a whole new world with you. Under the sea, under the sea, under the sea, under the sea. When the sardines begin to begin, it's music to me, it's music to me. What do they got? A lot of sand. We got our understation band. Each little sail, you know how to wear it. That's why it's hotter under the water. Yeah, we in love here, got a little bug here under the sea. Be our guest, be troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly. Birds fly over the rainbow. Why, why can't I? If happy little bluebirds fly beyond the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I? This is our story about our school. Our school, James Monroe. We are the school. That is the truth. And we take it with us wherever we go. Each and every day, nothing can take that away. We are the school. Yes, we are James Monroe.
No matter where our journey takes us in the next few years, so goes our school community.
We are James Monroe. We are family. We work together when challenges come our way. We are James Monroe. We're more than a building, and we're building our future day by day. And we're building our future day by day. And we're building our future day by day. A whole new world, that's where we'll be. That's where we'll be. A thrilling chase, a wondrous place for you and me.
So that is what defines James Monroe as a family. It's not the building, it's not anything but those students and staff that put all that together. So if you give them one more round of applause. And I know we are running way over time, but the one last recognition this evening, and I think one of the most important ones, was when you see the word family used, it means a lot. And for someone who went along this journey, when I first saw Linda in my office that Monday morning, the first thing she said to us is, keep us together. There was nothing more important than to keep this family together. And along the way, I learned a lot by what that means, and you saw a lot what that is today. And as a superintendent, and those of you that are building principals, you recognize how important the principals are to a school and to the school family. So at this time, I'd like Linda Zabatisny to please come up. She gets one more chance to cry, and it ends tonight. It ends tonight. So I have this special honor, honoring a very special principal, Linda Zabatisny, in great appreciation for your leadership, extraordinary dedication, and your tireless efforts to James Monroe School and keeping our community together during these challenging times. From the Edison Township Board of Education, February 27, 2017. Thank you for all your tireless efforts.
Thank you.
You want to talk 2 seconds? Okay. Thank you.
I can really only say thank you. I think the quote that I put in the program for this evening from Elizabeth Gilbert says it all. You can never say it enough times. This has been a very humbling experience for all of us, but a very rewarding one as well. And we have learned so much about what it means to be family and to be part of a community and how important home really is. So thank you to every single one of you who played a role in getting us back here, because we are whole again. Thank you. Oh, gosh.
And I'll just reiterate those comments. Daniel from Dobco and Ken Carr from Land, thank you so much. You see what you've built. You've built a family, not just a building, and we appreciate everything you've done. So at this time, any members of the Mayor and Council, any of our distinguished guests that would like to join our Board of Education, the school is open, but we're going to officially cut the ribbon. So if you would join us up here, that would be much appreciated. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming this evening and celebrating this wonderful time. We're going to begin the board meeting in about 5 minutes. If you really would like to stay for that, we welcome you to stay for that. Welcome home, James Monroe. Thank you.